Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Impossible Mowers. In today's video, we're working on the Poulon to give it a second test trial. If you guys don't remember before, here's a little video. The thing was acting weird. I mean, it was not acting right. We found out that the pulley was seized, one of the idler pulleys seized up. The engine was just misfiring. It was just not good. And I even gave this thing a fresh tune-up. And if some of you new guys don't know what that is, basically, I just threw some new parts at it. New fuel filter, fuel line, fresh gas tank. Well, of course, when I mean fresh, I just cleaned it out. I gave it fresh air filter, spark plugs. The only thing I didn't do with it was put a new carburetor or, anything like that because it just didn't need it until now. I've cleaned this carburetor many times and it works for a couple of hours and then it just starts to... the needle just keeps sticking. The real answer would be, okay, throw some parts at it, but a rebuild kit for these is just about as much as a new carburetor. I mean, it really sucks. It's the way they make them, it's pretty cheap stuff. I try to buy the most factory that I can, and I did buy a OEM carburetor, which I'll show you in a minute, but I need the thing reliable right now, so I'm just going to slap a new carburetor in it and see how it does. I'm also going to slap a on and off fuel switch because that is a no bueno situation. You should always be able to turn that fuel off just so it's not pumping extra stuff into the cylinders like what we had before. So we're going to be doing that today. I'm not throwing away that carburetor. I never like to throw away that stuff. I always like to keep it. And in fact, I'm probably going to buy a rebuild kit for it. And I'm going to use it as a spare in case this one goes. Because what I like to do is all along this shelving unit, you'll see 1 box, 2 box, 3 box, 4 box. All this stuff are different carburetors, except for that. That's a gas tank. But that's all different carburetors. And they've all been rebuilt, or some of them are just sitting there waiting to be rebuilt. And I like to just swap in between them just so I can keep saving money. It's a good way of saving money. You buy a new carburetor, you take the old one out, you put the new one in, and while you're using the new one, which will last you, I don't know, maybe a year, maybe a couple months, I don't know, it depends on how you use it. I can buy rebuild kits for the old one, so that when the new one starts giving me trouble, I can put that old one in and I can just keep cycling it like that. And I've done that for a long time. I've done that with Chuck for the longest of time. That is the stock carburetor on that thing. I have bought more parts for that carburetor than I think any mower out here. I've only had to do one single replacement on that mower, 2 actually. The classic oil change, which involves oil filter and oil, and a fuel filter. That is it. I haven't had to buy anything else. And the fuel filter, I decided to go crazy and went with the billet one. But I mean, reliability. So you don't have to do it this way. You can just buy a new set, but I like to just keep rotating, and it works really, really well. It's really, really efficient, especially for these V-twins and single cylinders. Works for all of them. So I highly recommend you guys do that, just so you're not wasting, put that back up, just so you're not wasting, I'm actually gonna leave that away. Just so you're not wasting any valuable equipment, I never like to throw that good stuff away. Just because it's not running right doesn't mean the carburetor's bad. It just means there could be a part in the carburetor that's bad. So you change that part, carburetor's like new again. So just want to let you guys know of that. But before we begin today's video, there is something I have to tell you guys. I've been getting a lot of chats and stuff from Instagram, which I love, keep it up by the way, about the Ford, because I've been mentioning it a lot in my videos. The Ford Explorer was supposed to be done, I think, I want to say last week, but it might have been the week before, but we had a lot of parts issues. When I'm ordering stuff for vehicles, it's nothing like what I do for these lawnmowers at all. Everything that I order for the vehicles are always warranted, and they're always coming from quality sources because you cannot cheap out on vehicles. I mean, that's the vehicle, you're going 60, 40, you're going mile an hour a lot faster than a lawnmower. A lawnmower, like Chuck, 15 miles an hour, sure. But a Ford Explorer, you're going a lot more than just what you're doing on a lawnmower. So what I have been doing is just waiting for these parts to come in, and I was supposed to get them in this week, but I haven't had them in. So they're telling me that my parts are coming in Tuesday of next week. So I was hoping to get the video done Saturday, post it Saturday as well, you know, but it's not working out. So it'll have to be next Saturday. And the reason why I'm doing a Saturday is because I don't want to spoil it, but it's going to be very interesting driving that thing home. I mean, I was going to tow it, but I figured it's got to earn it. You know, it's a Ford, it's got to earn it, you know. So we're going to have two Chevys, you know, my brother's in the Bourbons. One is a parts truck. The other one is a tow rig. So if we have to tow, we can tow. And if we have to fix stuff, we can fix it on the spot instead of having to run over to a Napa or an auto parts store to try to get it done. So stay tuned for that. That is, it's a little hectic. But I just want to let you guys know that's what's going on. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully next week is that week we do it. Next week Saturday I will post a short, stay tuned, and a Instagram, so look out for that stuff, just as the kind of like a I'll let you guys know that it's happening. So it's gonna be pretty fun. I mean, one of the big problems I'm having with it though is the rims that came with it. They look nice, but the type of bolt they have are junk. They are just, I might even have one here. It's one of those special adapters. Here's one of them right here. It's one of those special adapter lug nuts. It's a bitch because if you don't have the adapter, you can't tighten or loosen the lug nut. So it sucks because we had to take the tires off, stripping every single one of these. You can actually see this one was lucky, but you can kind of see that ring, that little shiny ring right there, little score. That's because we stripped it just a little bit, but this one actually survived. So I ordered the same lug nut, but a different size. So it's the same bottom end as this one, but the top end is not a adapter fit. It is a 3/8, I think, 1/4 inch. Let me see. Yep, 1/4 inch. So basically, instead of having to put an adapter in here, you can actually put an actual socket like you should be doing on all your vehicles. A lot of the newer vehicles are coming out with these freaking lug nuts that have to have adapters on them. And I mean, okay, cool, fine, but what happens if you don't have the adapter, or if the adapter breaks? Because some of them are plastic, hard plastic. You know, you're kind of stuck in the water. So that is one of the big things we're waiting on. But anyways, I don't want to keep boring you guys. Just figured I'd let you all know we're going to be driving that Explorer home. It's going to be wild. Yeah, there's a lot of things wrong with it, but I'm not going to say a thing because I don't want to spoil the video. So without further ado, let's dig into this mower and see if we can get that engine working fine, get this brand new pulley installed, and give it a second try at that trail. So without further ado, I'm going to do a magic snap and we're going to get right to it. Alrighty guys, so the first good start to any good old carburetor swap is taking off your hood. So I'm going to unplug the wiring from the bottom. There we go. Look at that, nice and easy. Oh my goodness, that is nice. Place that up right there for now. That was actually really nice. That was crisp. I like that. And then we're also going to take the blower shroud off. If you guys know Briggs & Stratton, you all know carburetors on these twins can be a bit tricky as far as gaskets go. Trying to get them aligned, trying to get them to go, it can be a bit of a hard fit. So I'll be walking you guys through that step by step. I'm hopefully going to make this really quick. So the first thing I'm going to do is loosen up our air filter screws to take the air filter off. Come on, baby. There we go. Beautiful. Air filter, a little dirty, but not bad. Just so you guys can see. A couple of dirty spots. That is actually not dirt. That is exhaust. Actually, no, that is dirt, actually. It's kind of, I don't know. Doesn't smell like exhaust. If it is, that's a problem. But second step, we're gonna grab a small wrench here. My dogs are going bonkers. Okay, so I think this is the right size, if there's even any bolts on here. I'm not seeing any. Nope, there's one. Wrong size. I'm actually just gonna take this off with some pliers. Just so you guys can see, you have a 1 bolt, 2 bolt. So we got 2 bolts here, 1 bolt by the fuel pump, 1 bolt here, 1 bolt here, 1 bolt here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. And I'm seeing a lot of bad juju right here in the front. That does not look very good. I don't know what that stuff is, but we're gonna clean it out. So I'm gonna cut the video right here and start it when the blower oh, sorry, don't forget, take these bolts off too. Fan comes off. Now I'm gonna stop the video and bring it back to when the lawnmower blower shroud is off. Alrighty guys, we're back. Quick tip, if you guys have any one of these laying around, use them. They are very nice. These little, kind of like a drive shaft setup, a little yoke setup there. Really nice. You can get a good perch from any angle, and it helps a lot with this scenario. I'll show you right here. I can come in at a little 90 right here. I don't even know if that's a 90. And then you can see the magic's happening right there, which is pretty nice because it sucks sometimes having to use a big wrench or an impact because that's all you got, you know. But these little small crescent wrenches, at least that's the company name, Crescent, pretty nice. 1 potato. Come on, baby. Two potato. See if we can't get this one right here on the bottom. It's kind of hard to see. It's right there, right on top of the governor. Little governor shaft there. There we go, 3 potato. 1 more. This is where it comes in handy, because if you see right here, I can't wrench like this. I only got so much distance because now the shaft is at an angle, so I can take this, tip it down like this, and now I have a level shaft that's able to reach that nut. The socket is fitting perfect. Get a little bit of a better close up here. And now I can properly wrench at any angle. I can go from here. Isn't that cool? I can wrench from up top, down low, any angle I choose. At least that it's able to provide for me. I can't do every angle, but I can do a good amount. You can buy these in any metric, SAE, you name it. You can buy it for anything. This one is 1/4 inch adapter. You can get them in 3/8, 1 inch, anything, any size you want. They just get a little pricier the bigger you go, but nonetheless, you can get them any size. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna unplug the fuel solenoid here. Come on, baby. Jeez, that's in there. There we go. Whew. And don't just tug, because you got to remember, you got your choke and your throttle and your governor spring all hooked up on here. If you tug, you're going to bend your rods, you're going to bend your links. Not good. You want to gently lay it down like this, very gently, and you'll see we got our fuel. Jesus, got our, I cannot speak, throttle rod right here, and then choke on the opposite side. So we're just going to follow that. Actually, no, I'm wrong. This is the choke, and it's been disconnected for a while. You got the throttle on this side. Yeah. So this is pretty damn crusty, not gonna lie. So what I like to do is I like to, instead of having to dig it out from here, I like to bend like this, go in a little U, and you'll see right here, connected to the governor shaft, is your throttle linkage. Get the camera going here, come on now. Okay. Come on, baby. There we go. And there you are. Boom. Intake acquired. Now, usually, yeah, you can just take the carburetor off. I wanted the whole intake system off because look at that, there's still more crud underneath here. You can't half-ass this. You gotta go in from all the angles, making sure everything is covered. So, now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start off by cleaning all this junk up, and then we're gonna remove the carburetor. If we break gaskets, we break gaskets. That's just what happens. Be careful. On these ends of the intake, you have these little ring gaskets. Please make sure that you don't get these out. Do not lose them. If you have to replace them, replace them. It's gonna suck, but replace them. But if you don't have to replace them, like this is fine, don't take them out. They're an ass to replace. They like to bounce out, and sometimes they don't sit right, and then you gotta take the carburetor off again. It can be a thing. So you can actually see all that corrosion right in that intake. Called it. You may not be able to see that well, but all that stuff is in there as well. So I do not doubt we have a lot of it up in here too. I hope not, but yeah. So to take this carburetor off, guys, you got 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then pops off. Always make sure you buy a gasket kit when you're working with these style. Actually, I guess you can do the same thing for all carburetors out there, but always make sure you're buying a gasket kit for this particular style, because 80% of the time with the other styles, you'll be able to get them off safe and sound. This one, I've never had a single one where I haven't saved the gasket. They always just rip off. So I'm going to cut the camera off here, and hopefully when the camera turns back on, we will have this all cleaned up, new carburetor in and installed, and then all we got to do is put that that idler pulley underneath, and we're rocking and rolling on the trail, provided it runs good. So without further ado, I'm going to stop the camera off here, and we'll get right on to it. Alrighty guys, carburetor is installed, and we're just about to wrap it up here. But I figured, just because I finished with the carburetor, I would show you guys how to install a fuel on and off switch. Most of you guys know it's pretty freaking basic. I mean, it's not a rocket science kind of add-on, but I figured I'd still do it anyways, just to kind of show you guys how it's done. Alrighty. So, the first thing you're going to want to have is a pair of cutting pliers. I got these good old, they look like Milwaukee, but they're not. Little cutters. And we're going to choose a spot on the fuel line to cut. Now, you guys will notice this is actually a lot of fuel line. I don't need this much. So I'm actually going to cut a good amount off. So I'm going to say from there to there. So I'm going to cut. But actually, before I show you guys how to do that, you got to look at your fuel line first and see where you want your cut. So you don't want to have, you could have your cut all the way up here, but it's kind of hard to get to. I like to have my cut right around here, close to the fuel filter, right there. It could be wherever you want. there's no issue if you put it wherever you want. Of course, just be careful. Make sure you know where you're going to put it, so it's easy for you to turn it on and turn it off. So I'm going to make a nice clean cut. Beautiful. It does help that this is like fresh gas. I mean fresh fuel line. It's got a little gas in it. And so I'm going to take this guy, hang him up. And let's see, I only need about up to here. You guys can see I only need about up to here. So I'm going to go a little extra right there. Make my cut. Very nice, very good. Okay. So now we're going to look at it, and that's just the amount that I want, just the amount I want. I don't want too much, but I also don't want too little. I want a little in between. Almost forgot. Make sure you slide your little clips in first before you go making any moves. So let's see here. I got my first clip, which I'm going to put in first. And I'm going to put my fuel on and off switch. And then I'm going to take the clip, loosen it, drag it, tighten it, making sure it's in there good, which it is. And then we're going to do the same thing for this side. I'm actually going to turn that off. So, let me see. There should be a second clip in the box here. I'm not seeing it. I think I may have taken it out. But that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, just make your slit, make your cut, try to make it as flush as you can, and try to do it right the first time, because with fuel line, you only get one chance. So, yeah. So I'm gonna cut the camera off here. We're gonna install the pulley, and hopefully we'll be good to go. I am seeing that the weather is getting a bit dark on us. So. And I can hear a little bit of rain, so I'm still gonna try to go for it, but I don't know, hopefully we don't get caught in the storm. Alrighty guys, we are underneath the mower here, doing the final piece here. We are gonna replace that idler pulley. Oh, it's actually clutch pulley, idler pulley, but whatever. That seems to be our size. Good old 15 mil. Snap that sucker right in there. Of course, you want to do it the right way. Put the clutch in. Give me a second. Alrighty. Clutch is in. That's going to relieve all that tension off of that pulley, making it a lot easier to take off. It's starting to get a little lighter outside, which is good. Oh, come on, baby. Can't be that seized. Oh. Alright. We're grabbing the impact. That is solid in there. Also, in case you guys were wondering, that carburetor I bought was from Nikki. Although it was on eBay, the carburetor brand is Nikki, so just figured I'd let you know. And I need an extension. Gee, money. I already have an extension. Fit that puppy on there. Jesus. There we go. Dear God. Zip that puppy off. Son of a gun, dude. That is on there. That was on there. Jesus. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. I hope you guys can see that really well because half of it's gone. Come on. Jeez. Even more evidence to suggest why you always put your steel pulleys on. They are expensive, yes, but they will not do that. And you can get home with a steel pulley. It'll get you home. A plastic pulley like that, yeah, I mean, it can get you home like it did for us on the trail, but if we were a mile out from the house or from the shop, let me tell you right now, that pulley would have seized up, it would have burnt all of it off, and then the pulley would have broke. Because that belt can only burn off so much before it gets to the bearing. And then when that happens, parts are flying. Plastic pieces are flying. So if you do not have a steel clutch or idler pulley on your mower today, get one now. Unless you feel like having that happen to you. Whew! That's better now. Golly. Way better. Wow. So you guys can really, you can really see why I push you guys to, geez, I really push for people, especially on off-road mowers, or even just, it helps with regular lawnmowers. Just get the metal parts. Don't go for this plastic BS. It doesn't matter whether you're pulley swapping it or not. This wasn't even pulley swapped. I use this for manufactured, I use it the way it was supposed to be used, besides the off-roading part, but even if I didn't off-road with this, that would have happened to me anyways. You only get so much life off of these plastic pulleys that it's almost not even worth it. I'm not going to replace this plastic pulley because I'm actually interested to see, this is a flatter pulley. This isn't a V-belt. This is like a flat belt pulley that they come stock with. I don't know how long those lasts. I've never actually seized or blown one of these before, so I'm kind of interested to see what happens. It's not going to do any damage to my belt or mower. I'm just genuinely curious what actually happens. We found out this guy didn't like it, so what about him? Never know. So that is it. We're going for a test romp. Look at that. She's looking beautiful. A lot more cleaner. A lot more nicer. I mean, just look at that nice new carburetor sitting in there. Right on. Looking beautiful. Looking beautiful. All that's left for me to do right now is I'm going to cut the camera off, fill this up with gas, plug that battery in, get a pack on there, put the hood on, and just see what happens, see what we're getting here. So I'm gonna cut the camera off here, and we're gonna bring it back on when we're hopefully driving out of the shop. Although I will turn it on occasionally if we get some misfire or something happens to where it's not gonna work out. So stay tuned. Runs perfect. Take it out for a spin. like it's misfiring a bit. Misfiring a little bit. Not as bad as it was before, but just a little bit. I think it's gonna be all right though. Hear a little bit in that RPM. It's just not quite there, but it's a lot better than it was before. It's not stumbling as much, but when you put a little stress on the motor, it starts to not like it, and then it clears out, which tells me we might either have an air fuel mixture problem or the fuel filter's clogged, which is an easy replacement. Running smooth now.
Here I come.
Much better. It is misfiring a whole lot, and I think it's because my fuel filter is just jam-packed with a bunch of junk. But it could also be a tuning issue. My carbon idler screw, my air and fuel mixture screw, when you buy these carburetors stock, they tune them the best they can, but it's never perfect. So for my application, I got to tune it a little bit, but I mean, it ran pretty good. It would clear out and then misfire, clear out and misfire. But you notice the moment I shut that motor off, it didn't sound like a diesel. It didn't want to crank over again. And there beholds your answer. It was definitely the carburetor, for sure. Now, like I said before, I'm not throwing away that old one, but I'm glad I got the new one, because now we can start using this rig. The only problem I'm having with this rig, and it's a classic mower thing that happens with every lawnmower made to mankind as far as Sears products go. You have a little bar, it's called your tie rod, and that's what holds your front steering system together so that the other tire can steer in sync with the other tire. And I had to hold it together with a stick because this came out of its pocket and broke the clip. I should have upgraded that, and you know what, now that it's happened, I will. But that's what these tests are for. And although, you know, I can't get too aggressive with this thing because I do need it to mow the lawn, it's always good to know that it can actually go on that trail, take the beating, and still come back and I could slap a blade deck on it. So it was definitely the best 350 bucks I ever spent. It's worth it. I would do the same if I were, you know, if I were you guys. So this will probably be towing the trailer. It's gonna be mowing the lawn, it's gonna be tugging some stuff. It's gonna be used as a general vehicle, a maintenance vehicle. Whereas, you know, the ones like Chuck and stuff, they could do it, but they're mainly for the trail. They're meant to take the beating. You know, Chuck's got a whole new system for steering in the front, so there you have it. But for a budget, we got this for free. It was 2 feet in the ground. I mean, I lost the picture of it, but it was down to here. It was up to here. I mean, it was in the ground. I didn't even know it had a blade deck. And we got and look at it. I mean, we got it for free and put a couple bucks into it and throw some parts, and you got yourself a mud mower and a lawn mower. How you doing? So there will be more videos on this for sure. Absolutely, you know, we need trail maintenance to be done, so this is probably going to be the head honcho of that until we can get the 140 going, which is, you know, the 140 is not looking too good, but I'll have to explain that in a different video. But without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment, and please guys subscribe. You guys are doing amazing. I love it. I love you guys so much. If we can get to 500 and above, that would be so awesome. Keep showing that support. I am so happy we're at 320 subscribers. So happy. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. And as usual, you all know the drill. For those of you who've been on my channel, links in the description below for Instagram, Patreon. I don't want to keep John on about it. If you guys want to see it, check those links below. You can also check out a lot of the stuff on the Instagram that we don't show here on the channel. So don't forget to check that out too as well. And if you ever want to hit me up on any comments, concerns, you know, Instagram, you just let me know what you got on your mind. I'm very thrilled to see comments and stuff. I think it's really cool. And also let me know what you guys think we should do to this thing. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's my mower and I could do whatever I want, but I kind of want to see what you guys want to do. I mean, should we add a winch? Should we add a ram bar? I'm thinking so, but what's your opinion? Should we add some lights, LEDs, amber? I mean, hit me up, guys. Underglow, we can do it. So without further ado, I hope you guys stay safe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.